What's good, family? Welcome back or to my channel. It's your boy, the Self-Aware Savage. And here, y'all know we don't do no fluff, no gimmicks, no nonsense. We keep it authentic and we keep it real. So for today's video, man, I want to talk about why so many people are single, okay? Because listen, I be seeing online, there ain't enough good women, there ain't enough good men, and it's just a whole bunch of nonsense and everybody feeding off of it. But at the end of the day, the truth is, a lot of people just aren't being honest about your circumstances. And because of that, it's making your ability to choose a partner way more difficult. Now, what do I mean by not being honest about your circumstances? So the reality is a lot of you all have lifestyle debt, okay? But you don't want to factor that in when you're trying to get into a relationship. And in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what lifestyle debt is versus what is temporary debt, and how you need to factor all these things in when you're trying to get a relationship. And I understand, due to people's entitlement, you want to overlook these things, but it's not actually possible. So we're gonna start with myself, right? So 4 months ago, I moved into a luxury apartment. This was a personal choice of mine just because I do work from home. Now, when I moved, I chose to get rid of all of my old stuff and buy brand new everything. We're talking sofa, rugs, TV, you get it, pots, pans, a new bed, all that stuff, right? I also made the decision to do all those things right away so that my spot was primarily done and I wasn't trying to get piece after piece over time, you feel me? And that total ended up coming to about $5 grand, which I swiped on my credit card, okay? Also, an insecurity I had that had been bothering me is that my bottom row of teeth was not straight. So there'd be times where I'm laughing or I'm doing something and then I'd look at a video or a picture after and I'm just like, damn, dude, your shit jacked. Like, you know what I mean? And I wanted this fixed. And so I also went to the dentist and I got Invisalign, right? Which was $2,500, okay? And I'm currently still going through the process now. Oh my God, they're so much better. I'm so happy. But like at the end of the day, so the total, as you all see, was at $7,500 4 months ago as soon as I moved, that I was in the hole that I needed to pay back, okay? And so I told myself, if I meet a woman who is interested in me, then listen, she could come to the crib, you feel me? We can do something free, but I'm not spending no money. And do y'all see how honest I am about that? And so I recognized that I couldn't get up to the caliber of woman that I normally would be able to pull during this temporary hiatus. That self-awareness and real talk I just shared, a lot of you all aren't doing honestly with your current circumstances. So coincidentally, everything I just shared with you is called temporary debt. A lot of you all have what I like to call lifestyle debt, right? And I'm just gonna go through a couple of those categories now. Another temporary debt that people try to overlook is your current body type. Listen, if you are completely out of shape, but you feel like you deserve someone who is in shape just because you go to the gym, you are delusional. Like, I completely understand that right now you are a project, but at the end of the day, you are a project, right? You are not in good shape. If we go to the beach tomorrow, your gut is going to be hanging out. That won't be sexually appealing to me at this exact moment. But in 6 months to a year, it will be. And guess what? People are allowed to have that standard. They're allowed to go, you are not attractive to me right now, but you will be in the future. And you have to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another thing that people struggle with, feeling like, well, in 6 months I will be there. There's no guarantee in 6 months you'll be there though. So now if I was to take you on as a project, I'm taking a gamble that you're gonna stay locked in, that you're gonna get in your cardio, that you're gonna do your protein, that you're actually gonna stay hitting weights, and that you aren't gonna become comfortable because now you have a relationship. And so if you are currently out of shape, you can't be butthurt about not being able to attract the people that you really want to. This one is 50-50 because you don't have to keep this, but it does play a part, and it is having pets, okay? So some of you all have went out here and you ended up getting yourself dogs, right? You end up getting yourself cats. That's what's up. I love pets too as well, but I don't own one intentionally because I wanted to keep my time and energy free to be able to explore life at my own bandwidth and not have to take care of something else that needs resources. Do you know what I mean? But you decided to do that. And when you decided to do that, yes, that hurted your dating market. Now I understand when it comes to pets that people are like, oh no, trust me, people will overlook it. But listen, not everybody will. I mean, I can give y'all multiple examples of when I met women who got one dog or two dogs, and like it just needs to be included in like everything we do, and it starts becoming a burden. You feel me? I like to be able, when I'm spending time with somebody, to continue the vibe. But that means is like, so if I plan to go to brunch with a shorty, and so now we go to brunch together, but then brunch was 45 minutes away. And so right after that, I'm like, hey, while our food settles, let's hit the movies, you know? Like I can do these things. And then they're like, okay, bet, let's do it. And now we hit the movies, and then we come out the movies, and there's this random vegan pop-up that's all these desserts. And I'm like, oh, we should definitely check out one of these little food truck spots right here. By the way, this is really happens. I'm giving y'all real stories. But in those cases, when I'm dealing with somebody that got a dog, they're like, oh, well, no, we got to get back to go feed them, or we got to get back to go walk them, or can it come with us on the entire journey? But it's just like, yo, no, I have to, that's too much thinking. Now I'm trying to plan for you, and I'm trying to plan for your dog, and it's just a lot. And so yes, you all, that is a lifestyle debt. And so if you currently have pets that require a lot of your time, attention, and resources, then you can't be walking these streets like someone like me who's completely free. And you are going to lose out on options that you would definitely want to be with, because people like myself don't want to have to overexert ourselves to get to know you and all your damn pets. But that one is 50-50, because at the end of the day, you could always rehouse your pet, but I'll be seeing online that people be clashing about that. If somebody wants to rehouse their pet, I think the pet community is too strong. So I don't know, that I'll leave that for y'all, you feel me? I do plan on having a dog in the future, but this will be with my family, you know what I mean? Second lifestyle debt that a lot of you all try to overlook is having kids. You know what I mean? I get, trust me, that you got your son or daughter on point, and that you can take care of them on your own, and you've been doing it all these years, and I'm proud of you. You having another human being that you have to take care of puts you on a total different plateau of the market than someone like me who has no kids, right? Because now, let's go back to my scenario of us planning stuff or trying to do things. I have to factor this in to your kid's schedule. This has happened to me too as well, where I meet someone with kids and they're like, okay, well, I can be free, you know, during these exact 2 hours because that's the only time that, you know, I can get a babysitter, or my cousin can watch them, and all these other little things. So now I'm always trying to tiptoe around you and your family situation. And so in those cases, most of the time, I'm like, listen, we can link up and fuck, but anything more than that, I'm good on. You know what I mean? Which is why probably a lot of single moms are just getting fucked. You know what I mean? They just call it what it is, and nothing else is coming out of it, because at the end of the day, the amount of energy it would take to be able to take this person on is just too much. Another lifestyle debt that I don't know how people try to overlook is people with STDs that do not go away, okay? So if you currently have HIV, or you currently have genital warts or herpes or cold sores, whatever you want to call it, you cannot market yourself as someone else who does not. Now, I have definitely seen stories online about people being like, no, my husband, you know, was willing to take me on even though I had HIV. And fellas, I actually see that more often than I think. Y'all got to start having a little bit more respect for yourselves. But with that being said, once you tell me that, I am completely uninterested. And it's the same thing with herpes. Now, I know people will be like, no, 90% of people have it. If you've never had a breakout, it's just dormant in your system. And maybe that's true, right? But guess what? Does having it ruin your dating chances? Of course. I actually met a girl like maybe 2 months ago. Bro, we were a whole vibe together. But at the end of the day, she was like, no, I do got herpes. And I was like, well, I'm gonna pass, because currently right now I don't. Now, if I did have them, then of course I would have been open to that relationship, and that's probably somebody I would have been with now. But since I don't, I told them no, like I'm gonna pass on it. And she was completely understanding. And guess what she also said? She said that most dudes don't care. They would have just went along with it, and you know, they still give her an opportunity because she was hot. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself like, damn, so you're single. Literally all these guys previously said they didn't care. So it's like wild to see how many people you could have gave it to, you know what I mean, who didn't even end up with you in the long run. So I can understand as well why it's spreading the way it is. If you watch this video and you get upset, you should be, because you are someone who is not being honest and real about your current circumstances and are being delusional about the expectations you should have. And you need this reality check. You can't demand a perfect situation when you are bringing chaos to the table. If you all enjoyed this video, man, make sure you hit that like button. Comment your thoughts below too. Do you agree with everything I just said? Are there any 50-50 debts or any lifestyle debts that I missed out on that I should have called out? I'm always happy to hear it. I will be dropping a long form video at least twice a week moving forward, so definitely look out for those. Hit that subscribe button. And if you right now struggle with dating, make sure you check out my next video.